I'm Johanna Burkhardt, the Soul Shaman, and I'm here to share with you ways in which you will know if you are going through a spiritual awakening. We are going through a period of time right now where a lot of people are waking up, and I want to discuss ways of which you can determine if you are in an awakening, and then some steps you can take to really help yourself during this time of energetic shifting. My spiritual awakening was not one that was easy by any means. I actually went through two dark nights of the soul. And a dark night of the soul is a time where we experience like the Great Depression, a very dark, heavy, dense time in our life where sometimes we have these huge events that actually come in and shift for us. A lot of things in my life happened for me, but at that time, I really felt that the energy was happening to me. I felt like I was a victim or I was suffering, or why was all of these things happening to me? And that's where a lot of people may be right now. And that's okay if that's where you are. Know that it doesn't have to be hard. It doesn't have to be an emotionally suffocating time in your life. So before we dive too much into that, I want to get in through some basics of how you can really know if you're in a spiritual awakening. So mentally, some of the very first things that you'll begin to notice is that things no longer resonate anymore. It's like you wake up one day and your values change, your beliefs change, your political views, your relationship views, everything begins to tweak and shift and change. And even if it's just a little bit, right? Because this is an evolution. It is a time for growth and expansion. And so it's like one day we wake up and all of a sudden our political views change, or the things that we valued so much in our life begin to shift. And we ourselves quite don't grasp it. Like we don't understand what's happening, but we just know that all of a sudden things aren't resonating. Our beliefs begin to shift, our values, our thoughts. We begin asking these huge questions like, who am I? What is my purpose? What do I actually want in this life? Like, I've been filling my house with things, and that's not what I want. I've been filling a void, right? And now I see that, like, we become illuminated to things, and we're like, what do I really want? What do I really want to do for a living? What do I really want to experience in this life? What is my purpose here? Why am I here? Who am I? These are big ones. These are big things. We start noticing synchronicities, right? 111, 222, 1111, 1010. We start experiencing things synchronistically, like maybe you're watching television and you hear something that you just got done reading. Or maybe you hear someone speaking about something that you just saw online. Or you're thinking about sending someone a message and they instantly message you, right? Synchronistic events, deja vu, feeling like I've already been here, I've already done this. Vivid dreams. When I woke up, my dreams were intensely vivid. They were so crazy. They felt like memories. The emotion that was attached to it, the color, the remembrance. That is also a sign of clairvoyance, by the way. And then we get into the emotional aspects, right, that I was talking about in the beginning. We become hypersensitive. When I after my second dark night of the soul, I became super high sensitive. I began feeling overwhelmed or anxious in crowds. I began to have severe anxiety. Noises, sounds, everything seemed to affect me differently than it ever did before. I was starting to feel all kinds of emotions that, let's be real, I repressed and I hid for so long. I began to be irritated or triggered by things in my life that never bothered me before. My relationships began to shift. I closed off a 20-year relationship, and then another one that was a 10-year relationship. I began to choose to unsubscribe from the bullshit, from the drama in relationships, in friendships, in my family, in the media. I stopped watching the news because I began to feel anxious just from watching a nightly broadcast of the news station. I began choosing what I wanted to see on my social media feeds, and really looking for the light, for positive things, for positive quotes, for people who were beginning to shift and see things differently like me. I began to really feel my body. And this is where we're getting into the physicality of it. What happens to us physically is some of us will start to have tweaks in our diet. Like we no longer feel the urge to drink alcohol or to eat sugar, right? Or eat meat. We may begin to shift the way that we're intuitively eating. We may start to feel pains in our body, sometimes involuntary movement or back pain, tingling sensations on our top of our head, on our feet, and our hands. We may begin to sense energy around us, almost like a vibration. We might have trouble sleeping or find ourselves sleeping a lot, going through these phases of no sleep to tons of sleep to wanting to sleep all the time, just feeling these shifts in our energy as our body, our physical body is trying to adjust to the emotional and mental shifts within our being. We might even have skin reactions, right? Because we are always manifesting. So if we're repressing our emotions that are trying to come up desperately, or eating things that our body is saying, this is no longer good for us, this is no longer serving us, our skin may begin to react. Our body may begin to manifest illness. These are all normal things that happen during a spiritual awakening. They don't have to be difficult though. They don't have to be a struggle. They don't have to be some long, painful experience. Yes, I experienced 2 dark nights of the soul. I went through very deep depressive phases. But I think I had to do so in order to help others not have to take that route, to learn to manage their energy, their frequency, to learn to allow the emotion to surface that has been repressed for so many years, to know that it's okay to shift their perspective, to know that it's okay that they are no longer in the mainstream of what's happening in the world, of what everybody else is doing or being, to know that it's okay to take the alternate route, to take the lone path, to stand in their own light, to heal. A spiritual awakening is a chance for you to remember your divinity, why you chose to come here, and why you chose to have this earthly experience, why you chose to come to love, to touch, to taste. That it was never meant to be hard. That we've been living in an illusion, and you are now given the opportunity to see through that illusion, to see things differently, to not attach, which creates suffering, to manifest what you actually desire, to live a life of bliss and freedom. A spiritual awakening is an amazing thing. It's not something that we should dread. And if you want to classify yourself as an empath or a highly sensitive, maybe you don't even know what those mean yet. No matter what it is, it's learning to manage and your frequency, your energy. It's learning to love yourself infinitely and to see yourself in another, so that we can collectively come into unity and rise together. That's what the new earth is all about. It's about shifting our vibration. It's about living in a more blissful, free energy. That's that's the beautiful part of this whole thing. If you're learning to if you are learning to manage your energy and need help, there'll be a link to the top 10 ways that I manage my energy that I would love to share with you. And if you or you know somebody who may be going through a spiritual awakening, please share this video with them and let them know that they are not alone, that it is a good thing, and that there are good people out there who want to help them find themselves, nothing else outside of them. Thanks for watching. Namaste.